In this problem, I am to take the integer negative 450 and subtract the integer negative 920. The fact that both numbers are negative prompts me to put the 0 on the number line here, since labeling both of these negative numbers will be to the left of 0, and that'll give me plenty of room to write. Negative 450 is 450 units to the left of 0. I will put that here. Negative 920 is 920 units left of 0, which is much farther than 450 units from 0. So I will put it farther away and give myself plenty of room to write. The mathematics will work even though it's not to scale. So the answer to the subtraction problem involves finding the distance between these two numbers on the real number line. So you could think of that as the distance between these 2 points. So I like to think of it as if we start at this point, we are already 450 units from 0, and I need to know how much further I would need to travel to get all the way to negative 920, and we always think of distance as positive. So I'm going to add up from 450 units from 0 until I get to 920, and many people like to do it different ways. One way that you could do it, not that it's superior to any other, is to count up by hundreds. So if you were 450 units from 0 and I went up by hundreds, you could think of this as 550 units from 0. So another 100, 650, and then 750, and then 850. So this would put me at negative 850, and I would have gone 100, 200, 300, 400 units to get that far. Now I need to know how much further would I have to travel to get from 850 units from 0 to 920. Well, to get from 850 units from 0 to 900 units, I would have to add 50 more units. Because I'm already 850 units from 0, if I were to go 50 more, then that would put me at 900 units from 0, so that would be negative 900. I had to slide this label over to make room, so this would be negative 900. And then finally, to get from 900 units from 0 to 920 units from 0, I'd have to go 20 more. So one way to do it, to get from 450 units left of 0 to 920 units left of 0, you could go 400 units in the negative direction, putting you from negative 450 to negative 850. That put us here. 50 more put us at negative 900, and then it took 20 more to get to 920. So if you looked at this, since 50 and 20 make 70, 400 plus 70 is 470. Now I just need to know whether this would be positive or negative. So if you look at it, the negative 450 was written first, and it's to the right relative to this number. So I took a number on the right, which it would be greater in value, and then I subtracted negative 920, which is further to the left, so it is of lesser value. And when you take numbers of greater value and subtract numbers that are lesser in value, you get a positive result telling me that the answer to this problem is 470. I'd like to do one more example. This time I have a negative integer and I'm subtracting a positive integer. Because one's negative and one's positive, I like to put the 0 somewhere in the middle, because I'll be labeling the number negative 210, 210 units to the left of 0. And I will be labeling the number 340, 340 units to the right of 0, because that number is a positive integer. Now, to find the difference between the two numbers, or subtract them, I need to find the distance between those 2 points on the real number line. So I like to think of it as negative 210, forgot to label that, is 210 units from 0. So I'm going to think of that distance as positive. And then to get to this number here, I would have to travel 340 more. So if you were to go 210 units plus 340 more, you could find the distance between the points by adding those numbers up. And I'm going to do that just using the algorithm for adding two numbers. 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 1 is 5, and 3 plus 2 is 5, meaning that the distance between these 2 points on the number line is 550. Now to figure out whether it should be positive or negative, I noticed that I started with negative 210, which is on the left, and numbers to the left are of lesser value. I subtracted a number that was further to the right, and numbers to the right on the real number line are greater in value. And whenever you take a number that is lesser in value and subtract off one that is greater in value, you are left with a negative result. So my answer should have been negative 550.